The alien skin shimmered in the dim light of the space station, a strange mix of silver and deep blue. Its large, golden eyes locked onto me with an intensity that sent a chill down my spine. I hadn't meant to touch it. Honestly, it was an accident. The crowded marketplace had been chaotic, and in the shuffle of bodies, my hand had grazed its arm. I barely had time to react before a chorus of gasps erupted from the surrounding aliens. The creature recoiled slightly, its eyes widening in shock. Then, just as quickly, its expression shifted to something unreadable. "You touched me," it said, its voice smooth yet commanding. I swallowed hard. "Yeah, sorry about that. Total accident." The murmurs around us grew louder. Other members of its species, tall, regal beings draped in iridescent cloaks, watched with expressions ranging from amusement to horror. The alien stepped closer, its towering frame making me feel tiny. "Human," it said, "do you not know our laws?" "Laws?" My pulse quickened. "What laws?" A smirk curled on its lips. "You touched me without permission, and according to the traditions of the Elvari." It paused, letting the weight of its words settle. "That means you must be my mate." I blinked. Then I laughed loudly. "Okay, that's hilarious. Good joke." The alien didn't laugh. It simply stared unblinking. "Oh, crap. Wait, you're serious?" I asked, voice suddenly hoarse. A regal-looking alien stepped forward, adorned in ornate silver jewelry. "The law is clear. Physical contact is considered a declaration of intent. If you refuse, it will be seen as dishonoring their family." I felt all the blood drain from my face. What does dishonoring their family mean exactly? The crowd whispered. Someone chuckled darkly. The alien before me tilted its head, a slow, predatory smile forming. "It means, human," it purred, "that the only way out of this is to fight me in a duel to the death." I exhaled sharply. Oh, fantastic. This was not how I expected my day to go. I took a step back, heart pounding like a war drum in my chest. "Okay, hold on. There's got to be a way out of this that doesn't involve marriage or murder." The alien, my supposed mate, watched me with unsettling amusement. "You misunderstand, human. The Elvari take honor very seriously. If you refuse me, you insult me, and an insult demands resolution." Yeah, I said, rubbing my temples. "Marriage or a duel. Real simple choices." "Love that." The murmuring crowd seemed to grow more excited, as if eager to see how this would play out. I glanced around for support, but there wasn't a single friendly face in sight. Just a bunch of aliens waiting for blood or a wedding. I turned back to the towering figure before me. "All right, look, what's your name?" It blinked slowly. "I am Vierith. Vierith, cool? Nice to meet you." "I'm Alex. Listen, I get that I broke some weird space law, but where I'm from, accidental touches happen all the time. I mean, seriously, do you guys not bump into each other? Crowded hallways? Public transport?" Vierith frowned, as if the concept was completely foreign. "We are a refined species. We do not bump into each other." "Fantastic," I muttered. "So what happens if I just walk away?" The crowd hissed. Vierith's golden eyes darkened. "Then I will be forced to challenge you, and you will not survive." I groaned. All right, let's not go straight to death. Hypothetically, if I agreed to this whole mate thing, what does that even mean? Are we talking a lifetime commitment? Some kind of alien marriage ceremony?" Vierith tilted its head. "Mating is sacred. It is a bond of honor, unity, and trust. You would stand at my side as an equal." That didn't sound terrible, except for the fact that I barely knew this person, and the whole forced marriage under threat of death thing didn't exactly scream romance. I exhaled. "Okay, hypothetically, if we just pretend to go along with it, maybe we can find a loophole later." Vierith's eyes gleamed. "So you accept?" I hesitated. The alternative was death. Yeah, I sighed. I accept. The crowd erupted into cheers. Something told me I had just made a very, very bad decision. The cheers of the crowd still rang in my ears as Vieira stepped closer, golden eyes gleaming with satisfaction. I had barely processed what I'd just agreed to when two smaller Aelvari in flowing robes approached, carrying a shimmering silver sash. Vieira took the sash and turned to me. "This marks our union," they said, draping it over my shoulders. "From this moment on, you are bound to me by Aelvari law." I forced a smile. Great. Love that for us. The crowd began to disperse, satisfied that the spectacle was over, but I barely noticed. My brain was too busy spiraling. I had to find a way out of this. "All right, Vieira," I said, lowering my voice. "So, what exactly does this bond mean? Am I expected to, do things?" Vieira gave me an unreadable look. "You are my mate now. You will share my quarters, my status, my resources. I will protect you, and in return, you will uphold the honor of our union." Right? Honor. I scratched the back of my head. "So, this isn't like a romantic thing, right?" Vieira's expression shifted slightly, something amused yet serious. "The bond deepens over time. If we grow close, we may choose to fully complete the ritual. Define fully complete. Actually, never mind. I don't want to know." Vieira smirked. "You fear me?" "No, no," I said quickly. "I fear bad decisions, and I feel like I just made one." Vieira let out a low chuckle. "You amuse me, human. Come, we must prepare for the formal announcement." "Formal what now?" Before I could protest, Vieira took my wrist, not roughly but firmly, and led me through the marketplace toward an enormous, temple-like structure at the heart of the station. My stomach twisted. This was getting out of hand. I had to find a way to break this bond before things got worse. Because if I didn't, I might end up truly stuck in this forever. The grand structure Vieira led me to was nothing short of breathtaking. Towering pillars of shimmering crystal lined the entrance, casting eerie blue light across the polished floors. Massive banners, marked with intricate alien symbols, hung from the ceiling. The air inside was thick with something heavy, ceremony, tradition, expectation. And I was at the center of it. "Vieira," I whispered, trying to keep my voice from shaking. "Tell me we're not about to have a wedding." They glanced at me with that same unreadable expression. "Not a wedding, no. A formal recognition of our bond before the High Council." "Oh, good. So just what?" "Announcing to the universe that I'm officially off the market." Vieira's lips quirked slightly. "You are amusing, human." I didn't find it funny. Before I could protest, we reached the center of the grand hall, where 5 towering figures stood on an elevated platform. Their robes shimmered with deep violet hues, marking them as the High Council. They looked at me with curiosity, some with clear disapproval. A tall, stern-looking Aelvari stepped forward. "Vieira, explain yourself." Vieira straightened. "By the laws of our people, this human touched me without permission. To maintain my honor, I have claimed them as my mate." A murmur rippled through the council. One of them, an elder-looking alien with silver markings on their face, narrowed their eyes at me. "And you, human, do you understand the significance of this bond?" I swallowed hard. Define understand?" The elder's eyes darkened. "Do not play games. This is a sacred tradition. If you mock it, the consequences will be severe." I shot Vieira the look, a way out any loophole, but their expression remained carefully neutral. "I accept the bond," I said, forcing the words out. "With great honor." The council exchanged glances. Then the elder nodded. "It is done." I exhaled. That didn't sound like a marriage. That sounded like a contract, and contracts could be broken. As the council dismissed us, Vieira leaned in, their voice low. You handled that well, human. I sighed. Yeah, well, I don't plan on sticking around forever. Vieira smirked. We shall see. And for some reason, the way they said it sent a shiver down my spine. The moment we stepped out of the grand hall, I exhaled sharply, rubbing my face. Okay, that was intense. Verith walked beside me with the ease of someone who had just secured a great victory. You performed admirably, considering your limited understanding of our ways. I shot them a look. Gee, thanks. Listen, Verith, I need to know something. How exactly does one break this bond? They tilted their head, golden eyes gleaming with something unreadable. Why would you wish to break it? I scoffed. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I got forced into it under threat of death. Vieira smirked. You chose this path over combat. That was your decision. I groaned. Okay, but seriously, there has to be a loophole, a way out. Vieira stopped walking. Their expression was unreadable, but there was something dangerous beneath the surface. The only way to dissolve the bond is to prove it was made in bad faith, that you are unworthy, that you are dishonorable. I frowned. So, if I mess up badly enough, you'd be forced to break it? Vieirith nodded slowly. Yes, but be warned, human, dishonoring a bond comes with its own consequences. The council may not let you walk away so easily. Great. So my choices were bad or worse. Still, I had an opening. If I played my cards right, I might just find a way out of this. I just had to make Vieirith regret ever claiming me. I spent the next few days learning exactly what it meant to be bound to Vieirith. First, I was given a place in their quarters, an extravagant, high-ceilinged chamber filled with alien textiles, strange glowing artifacts, and a bed that looked way too big for just one person. Vieirith had made it clear I wasn't expected to share it, but the fact that they even mentioned it made my brain short-circuit. Second, I was now recognized among the Ilvari, meaning everywhere I went, people either stared, whispered, or outright sneered at me. Apparently, having a human bonded to a high-ranking warrior was controversial. And third, I had responsibilities now. This is absurd, I muttered, standing in what looked like a training hall, surrounded by towering Ilvari warriors. I never signed up for warrior boot camp. Vieirith, standing beside me, handed me a sleek-looking energy blade. You are my mate. You must be capable of defending yourself. I sighed, gripping the weapon. And hear me out, you could just let me go, and we avoid this whole issue altogether. Vieirith smirked. Not an option. The next hour was pure torture. Aelvari warriors fought with grace and precision, while I flailed like a drunken idiot. Every time I lunged, I overextended. Every time I dodged, I stumbled. Vieirith corrected me, relentlessly. Your stance is weak, they said, stepping behind me, adjusting my posture with firm hands. Balance is key. I gritted my teeth. Balance is overrated. Vieira chuckled. You are stubborn, but I admire that. I huffed. Yeah, well, stubbornness is how I plan to get out of this. Vieira's grip on my arm tightened slightly. Are you so certain you want to leave? I turned to look at them, expecting smug amusement, but what I saw instead was something unreadable, curious, almost hesitant. That was the first moment I realized something dangerous. Vieirith wasn't just humoring this bond anymore. They were starting to like me, and that was a problem. I lay on the oversized bed that night, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. Vieirith had been acting differently, subtly but unmistakably. At first, they were amused by my predicament, entertained by my struggles. But today, there was something else in their voice, in the way they looked at me. I needed to be careful. If they got too attached, escaping this bond would become impossible. The door to the chamber slid open with a soft hum. Vieira stepped inside, their golden eyes finding me immediately. They were dressed in something more casual than their usual warrior attire, a deep, sleeveless tunic that revealed the strange, luminous patterns on their arms. I forced myself not to look too closely. "You fought well today," they said. I scoffed, sitting up. I tripped over my own feet twice and nearly stabbed myself. Vieirith smirked. An improvement from yesterday. I rolled my eyes. High praise. There was a beat of silence. Then, Vieirith's expression shifted, more serious. "Why do you resist this bond so fiercely, human?" I tensed. "Because it wasn't my choice." Vieirith tilted their head. "You accepted it." Under duress, I shot back. "Look, where I'm from, forced relationships are a huge red flag. You don't just claim someone because of an accident and expect them to go along with it." Vieirith considered this. "Our ways are different. To us, honor is more important than individual desire." I sighed. "Yeah, well, to me, freedom is more important than honor." A long pause. Then, to my surprise, Vieirith exhaled softly and sat on the edge of the bed. Then perhaps they murmured, "We should find a way to make this bond something you can accept." I frowned. "What does that mean?" Vieirith's gaze met mine, steady and unreadable. "It means I will not force you to stay if you truly cannot. But if there is a way for us to find common ground, I would rather not see you leave." Something in my chest tightened. This was getting dangerous, because for the first time, I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to leave. I didn't sleep much that night. Vieirith's words kept circling in my mind. "I would rather not see you leave." That wasn't a demand. It wasn't an order. It was something else. The next morning, I found myself staring at my own reflection in the polished metal of the chamber's walls. What was I doing? A week ago, my only goal was escape. Now, there was hesitation clawing at me. I needed clarity. I found Vieirith in the training hall, moving through a series of slow, fluid combat motions. The morning light streaming in from the skylights made the patterns on their skin glow faintly. They looked powerful, regal, and suddenly, I felt stupid for thinking I could just walk up and demand answers. But I did it anyway. "Vieirith," I called. They turned, lowering their weapon. "Alex." I crossed my arms. "I need to understand something. Why does this matter so much to you? Why not just let me go and avoid all this trouble?" Vieirith studied me for a long moment before responding. "Because I have never met anyone like you." I blinked. "What?" "You challenge me," they continued, stepping closer. "You are unafraid to question our ways. You do not cower, yet you do not seek to dominate. That is rare among my kind." I swallowed. "So what? I'm interesting to you." Vieirith smirked. "More than that. I think, in time, we could become something more. But only if you choose it." There it was again. That choice I thought I'd never have. I exhaled. "And if I don't?" Vieirith's expression didn't change, but there was a flicker of something in their eyes. Disappointment, maybe. "Then I will honor your decision. I will find a way to dissolve the bond." I wasn't expecting that. I had spent so much time trying to fight my way out of this that I never considered what would happen if Vieirith let me go willingly. I should have felt relieved. But instead, all I felt was uncertainty. Days passed, and with each one, my resolve wavered. Vieirith kept their word. They didn't pressure me, didn't try to trap me. Instead, they let me see their world, their traditions, their people. And the more I saw, the more complicated everything became. I wasn't just trapped anymore. I was curious. One evening, as we stood on a balcony overlooking the station's glowing skyline, Vieirith spoke softly. "I have made the arrangements. If you wish to leave, the council will grant you passage home." My chest tightened. "Just like that?" Vieirith nodded. "Just like that?" I should have felt relief. This was what I wanted, wasn't it? I hesitated. "And if I stayed?" Vieirith turned to me, golden eyes steady. "Then you would stay by choice." The weight of that hit me harder than I expected. I had fought so hard to reject this bond, but now, for the first time, it was mine to accept or deny on my own terms. I looked at Veerith, the warrior who had once claimed me by law, but now offered me the freedom to walk away. And that was the moment I realized the truth. I didn't want to leave. Taking a slow breath, I met their gaze and smirked. Well, I did just get the hang of using an energy blade. Seems like a waste to leave now. Veerith chuckled, something warm flickering in their expression. Then stay human. And for the first time, it wasn't an order. It was an invitation.